Hello everyone, just going to do a little video and tutorial here on the VoiceAttack software. I've been using it a lot for Helldivers too, and it's honestly made playing the game like a heck of a lot more fun and a lot more entertaining with some of the stuff we can come up with. If you don't know, the VoiceAttack software is designed so it runs off your voice. For Helldivers 2, you can get it to actually call on your stratagems for you without actually having to do the inputs. So unfortunately, this is only for PC users, PlayStation users. I'm sorry, you just come join us on the dark side, I guess. You go to voiceattack.com. You can go here to download. They have a version 1, version 2. They also have a free version and a paid version. When you download, you start off with the free version, and then they'll want a key to unlock the full version. Version 2 just come out. Honestly, it's a little slower in response to the voice inputs, but its accuracy is way improved. Version 1, I always seem to have an issue where if running a certain direction or trying to talk to a lot of people, it would sometimes miss inputs or not put the input in completely, or just not even put the input at all, not even pick up my voice. Version 2 seems to have solved a lot of that. It seems to be either it's going to be spot on and hit it, or it's not even going to pick you up. But you'll download. If you want to purchase, the free version gives you 1 profile, the 20 commands, $10 gives you unlimited of everything. Your system's going to be your holdback versus just the software limiting on what you can do. If you consistently use the same stratagems in the game, the same weapons and everything, 20 commands is going to be more than enough. But if you want to be able to use the voice aspect of this, where you can tell it to call something in for you, the unlimited version is definitely the way to go, because as you'll see here soon, the command structure itself can limit you. So you can buy here, or as they say, you can go to Steam, search up VoiceAttack. They have the free version or the full version currently on sale. I opted to send the money directly to the developer for it. Honestly, an awesome piece of software. Once you've installed, this is what the program will pull up as. It won't obviously say this, it'll just have a generic profile. There's 2 ways of using it. You can use your voice to do the call in, or you can use a hotkey prompt, which I prefer the hotkey prompt. Since I use a controller, to set up a controller for your hotkey prompt, you'll come into your options. Go over here to General, go down to Joystick Options, and you'll need to assign your controller. Click OK, click Enable. You can test it out if you want. Click OK again. Now that gets your joystick recognized by the software. In order to use the hotkey, come over your hotkey tab, the button recognition, you enable it, you hit the button you want. So this is my stratagem button on my controller. And then I can tell it what I want it to do. You can tell it to start and stop and listen. I have it so it only listens when I have the button held down. So select your options, click OK again. Now your controller is recognized. The software is always listening. So as you see up here, it's detecting me talking, but it's not actively listening to what I'm talking to. So I have played with people who've used the older version of the game, and it's kind of hilarious when they start talking. When we're running around and they were telling me about it, they were like, oh yeah, you could just say call in resupply, and then they started calling in the resupply. So going this avenue eliminates it. It also helps out if you're using the free version of freeing up a command slot. Click on your edit profile, and this brings up your profile. When you first start off, it'll have voice prompts for like calculators and everything. I just deleted it out. You can also import commands. So if you go on the VoiceAttack forums, probably even this one's going to be uploaded at some point, you can actually download. In fact, I brought in Rally Point Alpha's version. When you import, you can tell it what you want to import. So if you're running the free software and you're just like, well, I just want certain ones, then you can go through. Now, the one thing I will note, this is where my method frees up the 1 slot, and this method of using the full voice, you end up losing only into 19. So if you see here, there's an execute command of stratagems open. You have to bring in this command for the voice portion to work. For my version, my method, activating the hotkey, it's just listening for the voice prompt. Where this version, you're not using the hotkey and it's full-time listening. Once you've imported, or if you want to do a new command. So we'll just do one of my favorite. I've been laughing at this one. So this is the new gas mines in Helldivers 2. The way it works is when you do a command, you tell it when I say, or when I press buttons, any options like that. So for me, I hold down the stratagem button, I say stinky meatballs, and it does a quick input. So if you notice here, it has arrows. Go into Helldivers 2 is change your stratagem from WASD to the arrow keys. You can also do a recorder. You can do key press, which is honestly, this is a nightmare. Don't even bother with this. A recorder is honestly better. You can tell it to start recording and it picks up your key presses. And you can actually go through and kind of delete out and remove and everything else. But the best way I've found is using quick input, and Rally Point Alpha really unlocked this, and this made it so much better. You can go into VoiceAttack, do quick input or Control Q. It will bring up this window. You can copy these kind of texts, and just put in what the stratagem is going to be. So for Stinky Meatball, or for the gas mines, it was down, left, left, right. So just input that into there. You can also tell it in between, hold down the keys for so long and wait in between each key. A lot of this has been trial and error. I'm going to try out the new version 2. This is version 1's kind of settings. A lot of it seems to be kind of a net code. I noticed with version 1, if it went a little too fast, the code wouldn't pick it up, and sometimes it would not even input the full code, or it would try to skip over. You can come down, describe what it is, put it in categories. So like here, I've got all the different categories of kind of the different stuff. Sentries, orbitals, eagles. You can now send this. You want to send this command to a target. You can do it to the active window, where I'm running dual screens. I have it set to Helldivers 2. Now, when you first initially do this, in order to get this to come up, if you don't pull it from an import like mine, you'd have to turn Helldivers 2 on in the background, then come in here, pull down the menu, and it'll pop up on the menu. And once it's selected once, the system now knows it's there. So you can shut off Helldivers 2, come back in, finish all your commands. Recognition, restricted continuous speech recognition, improves it a lot. A lot of these other options, the forums cover some of them, but honestly, this has been working great. I haven't had the need to dig into it. Once you're done, you click OK. Goes onto your list. And you can now, I would apply it, and then we can now test it. Because sometimes the system will not pick up your voice. So there is tutorials over here on the how-to, basically training the computer to recognize your voice, and because it runs off the Windows system for it. So if I bring up a command list, so let's say we do the 120 that's already there. So I will hold down the button, 120. Yep, and so as you see, it's constantly listening, so it picked up what I said before, but I told it I want a 120. Since the game's not running, it says it's not able to execute it. But when the game is up and running, it'll input it in. But other than that, try it out, see if you like it. It's honestly, it's been a blast. Some of the stuff, running around with friends, and they want you to just like, oh, I want to hear this, or I want to hear that. My favorite has been Uncle Eddie for Hellbomb off of National Lampoons. It's the guys crack up every time I call on the Hellbomb. But give it a try, see what you think, and everyone have a good day.